Welcome to the Good Ride. I'm James Beastie, an average rider who likes to suck less through better gear. And today we're talking about a kind of new board for 2026, the Yes Standard Xtrm, which is replacing the Standard on ink and is almost the same board except it has a stiffer flex, so that's why I'm reviewing it now. It's a very versatile, semi-forgiving, good gripping, easy directional floating, good popping, hard carving board. And the only thing I don't like about this new shape is the tip and tail don't butter as easy or help you wheelie up in powder like it used to. But overall, it's a great board still, and it's going to be recommended a lot. I rode this in a wide variety of conditions, everything from some groomers to some messy, thick, wet, uneven snow on top of hard snow, and got it in a little bit of good powder too. And in the past, I've owned the Standard on ink for a few years and rode it in just about every condition imaginable. And of course, I put my Union Force bindings and Nitro Team TLS boots on this when I tested it, and I compared this against the Standard All-In and All-In Xtrm. Check out our reviews up on Patreon for members only. And this is an honest, objective review for you, the consumer. There is no brand oversight from Yes, and I can do that thanks to all of you good readers out there who've been supporting us. But especially so because of our sponsor, Blower Board Shop, who's been selling to snowboarders forever, even before all the Yes dudes started Yes and were riding for Burton. Lately, they've been making a push for a larger online presence, and they're competing really well in terms of shipping, price, customer service, and all that stuff the big brands do. So if you want to support honest, objective content, click through our links on the Good Ride to Blower Board Shop and buy something. But make sure you watch our reviews first so you're buying the right thing. Now, when it comes to sizing, this 56 always feels a little too wide for my size 9 boots. That being said, it turns a lot easier than it should for being this wide under my feet, thanks to that indentation in the middle. And if I were a 10 and a half, this thing would just jam edge to edge. I will say this year, with this stiffer flex, I felt like I wasn't taxing this board at all at my weight, and this can handle a heavier rider this year. It'll be a good bit more difficult for lighter riders to engage this flex this year. When it comes to shape, this is a directional twin, but it's got some cool features here. Look at the nose. It's the same length as the tail. The side cut is true twin, but the nose is a little wider towards the tip, and the tail's a little narrower towards the tail, but they are the same width right here. So when you're on groomers, this feels like you're almost on a true twin, and when you're in powder, the tail sinks a little easier than the nose, and you feel like you're on more of a directional board. If you're riding on reference, it's centered on side cut and centered on board. If you want to set it all the way back though for powder, you can get 2.25 inches back from center of board with a 21.5 inch stance width, which is the same stance width you get on reference stance if you center it. So that's some pretty cool stance width versatility for a directional twin, and these are best for powder days, but if you're in a directional mood and you want to ride this a little more set back, you can do it on groomer days as well. And when looking at the camber profile here, you can see there's a good bit of camber. I can get my fingers underneath and lift it up without much effort, but the camber doesn't go all the way to the tip and tail. There's a smooth transition into a mellow early rise in the tip and tail that makes this board pretty forgiving, and it's not that hard to skid turns with. If you get off your game, it is a far cry from the technical, catchy, full camber rides of old. Although this year, I think it feels a little more on the committed intermediate side to expert than it used to. When it comes to edge hold, the Yes Standard Xtrm does grip very well. It has a mellow indentation right after the inserts, that not only helps the board initiate a turn faster, it also helps it grip really well. And then you factor in this almost mostly camber profile, and I found this pretty good in hard to borderline icy conditions. I often recommend this board for people who ride out on the East Coast or in harder areas that also travel to other places with good snow. This handles both very well. You can do a little better with more disruption in the side cut, but it's a very competent hard snowboard. Let's talk standard Xtrm Flex. This has stiffened up a good bit from the standard on ink. It's still got a medium-ish, bordering on medium stiff flex, but where I felt it stiffened up the most is in the tip and tail. I like and don't like this stiffer flex throughout. Before, the standard on ink was softer in the tip and tail, and it was much easier to butter. It gave it a little more forgiving type of feel with that easier flex. And because of that stiffer flex in the nose and tail, it doesn't butter as easy as it used to. It still has great pop though. It's a good bit more poppy. You just have to put more work into getting it to pop. But when you do, it rewards you pretty well. As far as uneven snow goes, this does very well. It can handle soft, uneven snow and chunder much better than the regular standard. It's still not amazing, and it'll buck and bounce you here and there. And hard, uneven snow, this does very well. And I think overall, it's a very good all-day ride. When it comes to riding switch, this is super easy to do so because it really is a true twin on side cut. Only some riders will feel the difference in swing weight between the nose and tail, but everything else is true twin. This is an excellent jump board for going big, especially when you're centered up. But I found that small to medium-sized hits are still more than doable. If you're the right size boot, this is a great pipe board because it has good grip and quick turn initiation and can drive really well wall to wall, as well as boost out if you're that kind of rider. Jibs, you want the regular standard. That's going to be a better board. This stiffer flex is going to feel a little more bucky on those more technical rails. When it comes to turning, this initiates a turn pretty quick for its width underfoot for my size 9 boots. If you were the right size boot, this would initiate a turn super fast without feeling twitchy or hooky. And I love the way this side cut works in terms of allowing you to have any kind of turning radius you really want. Because you can see here, there's an easy entry point. It's not as aggressive side cut wise. But as you get into the side cut and you hit this mellow indention, you have a little bit of bump in terms of turning radius. So the more you commit to this board, the more it can across the groomer and circle carve. But if you want to make long, down the line, drawn out carves, this can do it as well. And this stiffer flex holds better and drives harder on a higher speed carve than it used to. So a lot of people will appreciate that new flex and that extra spring out of the turn at higher speeds. It's not as good of a slow speed carver as it used to be. It doesn't have as easy of a twist between the feet, but it's still great. And while I might have appreciated the softer flex for turning because of my size 9 boots, I think a lot of people who are in the right size boot will really enjoy this stiffer flex. It more matches Yes's rating system now. And you can center weight, front foot weight, back foot weight your turns however you please. It'll work perfectly. When it comes to base glide, there's a pretty good glide. It's not the best of the best, but it's upper tier for sure. And when it comes to powder float, I like the older board better because that softer flex allowed me to lean back into the tail and wheelie up pretty easy without giving me much rear leg burn. This year, it's a little more work. I felt it a little more in my back leg when I wanted to lean back and wheelie up and powder, but still, it's a very good board for a directional twin when you use those setback inserts and you have easy directional float. I did feel that the regular Yes standard floated a lot better this year. And overall, While I personally liked the softer flex of the old Standard on ink, I think the new Standard Xtrm finally matches its flex rating that you see on Yes's site. They always gave it a flex that was stiffer than it actually was, and it was hard for readers to gauge. Now it's more accurate, and I think most riders who match up really well boot size with this board will really enjoy this stiffer flex in everything except for buttering. So there you have it.